Patti LuPone is back. The two-time Tony Award-winning stage icon is nominated for her 7th Tony for her career-high performance as Helena Rubinstein in the new musical War Paint. LuPone discusses her super glam Broadway gig, shares early memories of co-star Christine Ebersole, and even has a public service announcement for all you messy theatergoers out there.
That the people should really pick up their crap at the end of the show.
On this week's Show People. Patti LuPone,
yes?
Life's better when I'm around you, I'm telling you. Life's better when you're on Broadway and then when I'm in your company. I adore you.
Thank you.
And you look fabulous.
Back. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I haven't done one of these with you in 6 years is the last time. That was a long time ago.
In the other building?
Yeah, in the other building.
Yes, I remember.
In the other studio, different set, everything's different.
Yes, I remember it.
How's life?
Very good. Busy.
Very busy,
it's
yes.
It's that time of the year.
Yes.
In New York theater.
You are a Tony nominee for the 7th time.
7th time.
Okay, War Paint. Let's just start. Let's dig in because I love this show.
Thank you.
And I love you in this show.
Thank you.
This is an incredible performance.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy you're on Broadway and that somebody wrote you a big juicy role because I feel like you should. I feel like everyone writing musicals. Let me just say this out loud on camera. Everyone who writes musicals should be writing Patti LuPone a juicy role.
Thank you.
Let's just do that because I think you should have like 20 to choose from every season.
This is my last one.
I know, I heard that, but I don't. Why are you bringing down the room already?
Okay, I won't bring it down. We'll talk about something else.
No, but I want to hear about this. No, let's talk about this.
I think it's. I said two things in this technical. I miss stagehands pushing scenery. I miss those schlubby, indifferent stagehands pushing the scenery into place and then walking off stage. Because everything's automated now, and which makes your technical longer. And I miss.
You're not into the robots. You like the guys, the union guys.
Do you remember Baz Luhrmann's La Boheme?
Yeah.
Do you remember watching the stagehands?
Yeah.
Do you remember that entire experience?
Right.
He gave you the entire theatrical experience.
Right.
Remember the scene with the guy in the snow? He was on the ladder, and they were playing. And
I didn't until you just said it. Yeah.
And even maybe it's because I'm in the business. Or maybe it's just because I believe in the magic of the entire thing. I loved watching the stagehands change the scenery, especially when they didn't give a shit. It's like, and walking off stage. And the other thing I said during this technical is whatever happened to 4 weeks, New Haven, because things get longer and longer and longer and longer and longer.
Yes.
And I think I'm too old. I think that I also said, and this is of course tongue in cheek, I don't want to be a character woman with my billing in a box. So
and featuring Patti LuPone.
Yes, and I think my leading lady days are over, and this is a great way to go out. Not that I would love to do plays. I would love to do plays. I mean, I say that.
So it's because of the stagehands and the box. These are the issues. Can't you just negotiate to not have to deal with the box?
Well, you know what I thought.
And why don't you negotiate to have the schlubby guys push the stuff out?
But you know what I thought? My great-granddaunt apparently was famous, and I think all opera singers, I mean, I don't know because I'm not an opera singer, so I don't know. But she never went to rehearsal. She sent her maid. But then, of course, they become famous in one role, and they're used to doing it a certain way, right? And so it makes sense that they would send their maid to tell the conductor and her leading man where she's moving and how she's delivering the aria. So I thought, how am I going to get out of a technical? I know, I'll send my maid. Or what I'll do is I'll go, when you have it set, instead of having the actors stand there while the lights are being focused, I'm professional enough that I can walk into a set and go, okay, I got to watch out for that, I got to watch out for that, I got to watch out for that, as opposed to the arduous 10 out of 12s of a technical, and depending on how long they last.
Right.
They can be 2 weeks, they can be 10 days to 2 weeks. It's exhausting. Not that I don't have the energy, but I think the primary reason is that by the time a new musical came along, I wouldn't be playing a leading lady. I would be too old to play a leading lady. So why not go out while I'm still a leading lady?
I don't know. You look fabulous. Look at the fringe on your skirt. You look amazing. Come on.
Thanks.
Nobody's putting you in a box. Nobody puts Patti in a box. It's like baby in a corner. Let's talk about your voice, can we? Because you see people over the years, careers, and you hear the voice deterioration a lot of times with performers. When I saw War Paint, and I've seen it twice, when I saw it a couple weeks ago, this is like Patti LuPone in her prime. You're singing is so amazing right now. Everyone's talking about it. It's like it feels like the same Patti LuPone that did Evita every night. I mean, am I crazy? Or I mean, you sound phenomenal.
Thank you.
How are you doing that?
I don't know. I really don't. I think, well, I do know that Evita was extremely difficult for me because it wasn't necessarily my keys. And I've talked about this before. All of the high notes sat in the passaggio, which is the weakest part of any singer's voice. It's, if you stretch a rubber band, there's going to be a very weak link. That's the passaggio in a voice. Scott Frankel, the composer, wrote for both Christine and me in our pockets. And it's not easy. See, it's an incredibly difficult score. It's very rangy. But with Evita, I did not have a technique. When I had a vocal cord operation because I had ruptured a vocal cord, and they had to cauterize the veins that were rupturing, I had to learn how to talk again. So I went to Joan Lader, and I've been studying with Joan Lader since 1995. This score was easy for me in Chicago, but then when they expanded and I wanted to add more energy into Forever Beautiful, I started to compromise my voice. So I went back to Joan. And Joan has given me more technique. And what I'm also going to do, because I care about how I sound on stage, and I care about the voice, is go back to Joan for 3 weeks in a row to really comprehend production and placement. Because I think that's what it's all about. And some people, if they're losing their voice, they could have never known how they placed it, how they produced the sound. That's my case. That's me. It's probably the most natural thing I do, or the thing that people want me to do, but it's the hardest thing I do. I don't understand this whole mechanism. I listen to Christine every night, and I want to weep, because the voice flows out of her. There is no strain. From the top to the bottom, it's perfectly placed, and it's a stunning sound. Nothing is moving here, and I'm quite tense here. So I need to continue studying in order to preserve it. The timbre of it, I can't tell you. I guess I was just born with a set of chords. I really don't know why I sound the same. I did see video of Ethel Merman when I did Anything Goes. Somebody made me a composite of her from 21, from I think it was called Tops the Limit, to her last concert.
Wow.
She never changed keys. It was the same voice from when she was 21 to when she died at 72. And I think that's what people are hearing in me, the same voice.
Right. Well, thank God that voice is still around, because I worship it. I'm telling you. I do.
Thank you.
It's my favorite. It's my
Thank
favorite
you.
Broadway voice ever.
Oh, thank you.
Ever. Christine
Yes.
Ebersole. So when you entered this project, this is a very interesting project, because it is really two co-leading ladies, right? I mean, it's two powerhouse roles. And I know that, at the end of the day, you're an actress. You're Juilliard first class, and you love ensemble work, and you love working with other actors, and there's not like an ego with you with those kind of things. So were you immediately sort of excited about that idea of there being?
Well, first there's a bit of an ego going,
Okay, well, so you and Christine came up on Broadway around the same, in the
we've
70s.
known each other since we were kids.
And by the way, I love the photos. When I see photos of you on the scene in the 70s, there are some amazing photos of you online with drag queens and characters. I mean, you looked like so much fun. I mean, you still do, but I was like, oh my God, if I had known 25-year-old Patti LuPone.
Yeah. Yeah, party.
Yeah, there's a lot of partying.
Party dog.
Yeah, she was out.
Yeah.
And Christine was around.
She sent me a picture of, do you remember Bob Bacigalupi or Robert Fox?
Yeah.
Okay, he was Bob Bacigalupi when he was at school, and in the acting company, he played Little Harp, or he played Goat. Can't remember which one, Robert Bridegroom. And there's a picture of Robert, me, Christine, and I can't remember, she can tell you the guy in there. We are babies. Right. I have no idea where we were, but we're all like in our 20s.
Wow.
So I've known Christine that long. But you're right, at first you think, okay, how is this going to play out? What I said to the writers, I said, what you have to do is this has got to be equal distribution, because you don't want any kind of resentment.
Right.
And I also said, this also can't be a cat fight, because that's what people are going to be expecting.
Yes.
We have to rise to the nobler instincts and discuss the achievements of these women and make the rivalry something that created more achievement in these women, as opposed to what might have been, I hate the word, feud.
Yeah.
But talk about Christine. You asked another question about Christine. She's fantastic. We are enough different on stage that we complement each other, and we are enough similar in our lives that we can be friends. And that is such a blessing and so rare. And we have our priorities, and both of us are on the other side of our careers. And the priority is family, preservation and family.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to, you know, the drive.
Right.
She's this blonde goddess on stage, and I'm her shrimp sidekick. That's what I feel like. It's kind of fabulous. I'm the court jester to the queen. I love it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, well, we have to take a break.
Okay.
But we'll be right back. We're gonna talk more about war paint with Patti LuPone. We're back with the fabulous Patti LuPone. You know, we haven't really even talked about, so you are playing Helena Rubinstein, obviously. So you sort of lived with knowing you were doing this. I'm curious about your process. So you were walking out of 54 Below, right? And what happened? And
Scott said he has a part for me. Scott
yeah.
Frankel said, I have a part for you. And then I found out that it was Helena Rubinstein. And then we did the first workshop based on the book, War Paint by Lindsey
so
Woodhead.
Did you dig into it?
Yes.
I was thinking about the time before a show goes into production. You sort of like live with this? Are you always thinking about it?
Not always thinking about it. I mean, I read as many books as I could about Helena Rubinstein. And then I tried to filter a composite personality of this woman from what everybody in all the books said, pro and con. Try to figure out who she, and then of course, as you've heard me say before, my only responsibility is to the script.
Right.
So then I had to see whether what I thought of this woman, or you know, what I discerned from reading about her, was in the script. And Doug is a brilliant playwright, and of course it was there. And then it's about how you apply it, how you find that stuff inside of yourself to apply to the lines. And she had a sense of humor, comedy.
Well, I love the line. What's the line? There are no ugly women, only lazy ones.
Right, that's her.
Yeah.
And I am extravagant in my anger as I am in all things, is also a quote from Helena Rubinstein.
Right.
Those are her sayings.
Right. Catherine Zuber took very good care of you ladies. Costume designer.
Oh my God.
How do you feel up there? You look incredible, and every time you're on stage, you're in a different drag, and there's a different hat, and there's a different shoe, and a different. I mean, it's dripping.
Stunning.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's stunning. She's brilliant.
What I mean, your costume rack backstage just must.
It's one more quick change than Evita. One more. There's 15 quick changes.
Wow.
And Evita had 14.
Wow.
And it's probably the same amount of stuff: gloves, hats, shoes, you know, jewelry.
So once it starts, you're.
It's incredible. It's like a runaway train.
Right.
It's so fantastic. I'll say, oh, look where we are. We're close to the end of the first act.
You told me right before we started rolling, the audiences there's not much cell phone drama.
No, what about that?
There's not phones going off or people texting or.
No, it's amazing. We're kind of shocked backstage that we're not dealing with more of it. In the 2 months we've been running, 10 weeks we've been running, 3 phones have gone off, but not to ring. Just they rung and they were turned off. And it's a testament to the audience.
Right.
It's a testament to the audience that they are paying attention. Now, I want to say this out loud, because they have to add something to these announcements, that the people should really pick up their crap at the end of the show. Walking through the theater, I cannot.
It's like a movie theater in Times Square.
Horrible. It's horrible. Yeah, if you want to leave your playbill, that's one, but your water bottles, your Kleenex, your food, it's just, and these poor porters are sweeping the aisles. I'm going, I cannot believe people would come to the theater and think it's their trash can.
You know what I would love? I would love to see you take your triumphant bow, the standing ovation, and then you quiet when you say, thank you all for coming. Take your crap home with you.
Right, what do they say about campers? Whatever you bring into the woods, you take out with you.
Take it out.
Take it out with you. I mean, I'm appalled when I see that, and I feel bad for the porters. You should see the amount of garbage that they are putting into plastic bags. I'm shocked. Whatever happened to people going to the theater to just go to the theater?
Right.
Without eating, texting, sleeping, talking, whatever.
Like I said, you are like my favorite Broadway star, so I love that you have become a symbol, though, of theater etiquette. With the video we've all watched on YouTube of you somebody getting luponed, that's now the phrase, and then grabbing the cell phone at shows for days.
But that was not a grab. That was a sleight of hand. Even I was shocked I got it. I actually came off stage going, I got the LuPone! She was just in the right position for me to touch her on the shoulder, look her in the eye, and palm it off her lap. I mean, she didn't even know it was gone. I came off, and our stage manager was somewhere in the gods. I don't know where he called the show, but when I came off, he communicated to the second backstage, she got it, yay! Because everybody could see what she was doing. She was in full light. Crazy bitch.
I don't know. People need you to school them a little bit.
Well, look what's happening in our country. Look what has sort of broken open, and I don't think there's any coming back from that. But there's chaos, and if we don't understand a limitation in freedom, it's anarchy. Right. And I think we are in that anarchic phase where anything goes, but we are living with other people.
Right.
It's not just our individual self.
Right.
And that's the thing that upsets me.
Right. If you could keep any piece of anything from War Paint.
The charm bracelet.
Oh, you knew right away.
Yeah, the charm bracelet.
Charm bracelet.
So I'm already losing that in my bag. The charm bracelet, she had a famous charm bracelet.
Okay.
And this is 2 pieces that Larry Verbo has made. And that's the thing that's
Act 1 or Act 2?
Act 2 in Forever Beautiful.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
The huge.
Well,
chunky.
let's talk about that number. That number is incredible. But I also love how there's that wall of all the famous Rubinstein portraits, right? But they've sort of LuPoned them a little bit.
No, they're all her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all copies of her. I know. I looked up the other night and went going, wow, man, that looks like me from Masterclass while I'm singing. Because I looked in the back.
Now you know what Patty's thinking about while she's singing.
Because I looked in the back. I mean, I deal with a certain number of them, but then I saw the one in the back and went, wow. Or I thought, gee, that's really Spanish while I'm singing. But those are all copies,
wow.
Not of me, but not where I'm, but of original Helena Rubinstein.
Amazing.
And Amy Fine Collins, who writes for Vanity Fair, has 11 of those portraits.
Oh, wow.
But she said, quote, I'm quoting her, not the famous ones, but she has 11 of them. So
wow.
Who knows how many Helena actually commissioned.
Amazing.
And Picasso would not paint her. So she only had sketches.
Have you ever commissioned a portrait of Patti LuPone?
What, are you kidding?
At your house? Do you
Really?
have any, is there like a room?
I have no idea what that mental thing is. That you'd go, I want me painted in perpetuity, so I can hang it in No. I'm not, you've heard me say this
I want
too.
to commission one of you. Will you sit for it?
No. I just want to disappear into the woodwork.
Okay, well, we have to take another break, but we'll be right back with even more Patti LuPone. We are back with more Patti LuPone. Patti, I could talk to you for hours. We could just. How much time you got? Okay, so let's talk about the Tonys. This is your 7th time as a nominee. You are going to the Tonys. I assume you're going.
I am.
Did you figure out the fashion?
Well, you know what? I've been wanting to say this forever because I'm rather over the designers that will dress movie stars, throw clothes at them, but will have nothing to do with people in the theater.
Right.
I'm over that. But I've always wanted to say, when they say, who are you wearing? I want to say I'm wearing somebody from the theater community. And this year, the 6-time Tony Award-winning costume designer Catherine Zuber
Fabulous.
Is designing my dress, and it will be built at the House of Goyco.
I love it.
That's what I've always wanted to say. I'm supporting the theater community and not some... I mean, I've gone to those things, and they look at you like, well, do you know what I mean?
Right.
We're not a size 2, and we're not big enough for them to promote their clothes on theater people.
Right.
They will dress movie stars that have come to the theater or lend them, but they will not dress people from the theater.
You can't do better than Catherine Zuber. I mean,
bet
honestly,
I can't.
The best.
She is the best.
So can we do a quick rewind? 1976, when you were your first nomination,
Yeah.
Robert Bridegroom.
Yeah.
What was that year like, the Tonys? What do you remember about that moment and that girl, and what were you wearing then, and what was that?
I was just wearing some pretty dress that I had. Kevin Kline was my date. I have a picture of that night. I think we brought my mother. My brother was nominated, or my brother brought my mother. My brother was nominated for a chorus line. I knew that I had no chance. It was a chorus line. But I was sitting behind Jerry Orbach and his wife, Marta. And there was lots of dish going on. Marta was like, she was dishing up a storm. I'll never forget that. I was listening to her. Yeah. It was like wild. But those when the Tonys were fantastic. Alex Cohen made them theatrical. They're not theatrical anymore, where in fact you'd sit in the house and then the house lights would dim and the stage lights would come on and you felt like you were at a theatrical event. And eventually the house lights would come back on for the cameras, but you took that theatrical leap. It was just wild that I was nominated. It was kind of weird. It was great though. It was I have a really cute picture of my mother, Kevin, and me in my scrapbook.
You have good scrapbooks of all those years?
I have all from the beginning of my career.
Wow.
All archived, and they will go to the Library for the Performing Arts.
Fabulous.
And my scripts.
Like I said, if I could just run into that girl, I would love to go to the Tonys with Patti LuPone 1976.
You wanted to go to the discos with me instead.
La mouche. Well, we have to let you go because this is going on too long, and I don't want to I could keep you. I don't want to like hold you hostage, but I would. You have an album of War Paint coming out.
Yes.
Right? Yes. May 26th.
Really?
That drops digitally.
No way.
Yes, I can't wait.
Me neither.
I can't wait to hear it over and over. Everybody, please go see War Paint. It's at the Nederlander Theater, 1 block below 42nd Street. And Patti LuPone and Christine Ebersole are amazing.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see you on the Tonys.
Do you know that's where I made my debut? The Nederlander was then the Billy Rose, but that's where I made my debut in 1973 with the acting company.
See, this is why you feel like it's your last role, but don't do it. Come on, do another musical.
I don't know.
All right, well, all right, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you so much, Patti.
Thank you, Paul.
I adore you.
I adore you. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.